Welcome back. It was a short week again for us this week, so we were off on Monday for a holiday, and we're out again today because of the weather, but we do have some footage to share with you. We're making pretty good strides on our Duramax diesel project, and we're also going to be adding an EGR delete to this, and we'll be sharing that with you soon. A vehicle came in also with a complaint of a squealing noise in the rear. We'll show you what the students found out with that. We've also finally got some decent 48 footage to share with you. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you enjoy it.
We're putting on new O-rings and copper washers before installing the injectors.
With the two intake runners in place and torqued down, it's time to install the bridge that connects them. Two of the glow plugs were damaged during removal, so we're replacing them with two new ones. These get torqued in place as well. With the fuel rails installed, now they're putting on the fuel lines. Because of the environment that the exhaust is in, we're filing down the flanges to make certain they're flat. This end of the pipe mounts to the exhaust manifold on the driver's side. You can see it came out flat. The end that mounts to the turbo is considerably in worse shape. We can see where we had to use a chisel to break it free from the bolts that were broke off. So let's get filing on this and see if we can clean it up. We've already begun the filing process on this part of the pipe. You can see where we're making contact here and there on the outer edges. So we're going to get all that flat like we did with the other one before we install it back onto the truck. We could have used our belt sander to do the same job, but I've got more control with a file. So it's a little time consuming, but well worth it. This end came out well, so I'm confident that it's going to seal with no problem. Here we're installing gaskets for the coolant crossover pipe, and then the crossover pipe itself. Now it gets torqued as well. This expedition came in with a customer complaint of a brake squeal in the rear even when the brakes weren't being applied. Let's get in the air, pull the wheels off, and see what they find. While pulling the brake rotor to inspect the parking brake shoes, we found one of the hold down clips stuck inside of the rotor. This is where the squeal was coming from. You can see where the clip had been rubbing inside that rotor for some time. We had a donor rear out back, so we pulled off the pin and clip and we're installing it on this vehicle. Now the rotor goes back in place and the caliper goes on. Installing the wheel and torquing it to the proper torque spec completes the job. I've decided to sandblast the entire wheel. You can see this is all starting to look pretty good. Once we get the sandblasting done, I can begin to polish. I've got some news I want to share with you about the 48 Chevy build. The students have been working pretty hard, and hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have the drivetrain completely put into the frame, and then we'll be able to get some new components put onto it to get it running, and then we'll be ready to start working on the body. In a couple of weeks I'm going to be shooting a commercial for this car that's going to go out to our industry all around the world. One, to thank the sponsors that are already on board with this project, but also to draw in new sponsors that want to be a part of this great student build. The most exciting news that I have to share with you about this vehicle is that I've already secured a spot at the 2022 SEMA show in Las Vegas in November. The place that it's going to be put is pretty much what I feel to be prime real estate, and I'll have more information to share with you about that in May.
We're about ready to mount the driveline to the frame. There was a few areas in the engine we didn't like, so I'm going to reshoot the whole thing.
Next time on Bulldog Builds, we'll have more work done on our Duramax diesel project. We'll check in on the Kawasaki Z1R, and we'll have more work done on the 48 Chevy build. Thanks for tuning in.